Good morning everyone. So in our previous class we have already studied about the types of friction. First static friction, sliding friction, and today we are going to discuss rolling friction also. So in this section we are going to compare these three frictions. We will see that this rolling friction is much smaller than sliding friction, which is much more smaller than static friction. Okay, so we'll take one example. Suppose a box is at rest. Suppose this is a box, this is at rest. You want to shift this box to from here to this place. So what you will do, you will push the box, you will apply some force to move the box. The initial push takes a lot of effort because why? Because the box is at rest. You need some extra force, some greater force to push this box from here to here. Okay, why does this happen? Why we need some extra force to push the box? Because the interlock between these two objects, between the box and the surface, is more. When anything is at rest, the interlock between the surfaces between these two surfaces is very high, is extremely high. Okay, so initially we need a lot of effort to move an object. When this force is applied from here, one resistive force is acting from here, that is static friction. Okay, so the moment this box starts sliding, what will happen? This static friction becomes the sliding friction. Here the sliding friction comes in picture. You already know that all surfaces have irregularities. Evenness, uneven surface will be there. No surface is perfectly smooth. Okay, so in sliding the box, the point of contact of the surface do not get enough time to interlock into the contact point. Let's see what I am saying. When you are sliding, this box shifted to here, so the point of contact is here. Again, when the box is sliding, this point of contact is here. So in sliding the box, the contact point on the surface do not get enough time to interlock into the contact point of the surface. Clear, children? So we find it somewhat very easy to slide the box than to start the box. In short, we need a very less amount of force to slide the box. It's very easy to slide a box when a box is already in motion as compared to get it started, initially to get it started. That's why we can say that the sliding force is slightly smaller than the static friction. Is it clear, children? So here from this example, what we have understood, that the sliding force is slightly smaller than that of the static friction. Now, so this is the comparison between sliding friction and static friction. Now, we will see what is rolling friction. This is also a kind of friction. The force that resists the relative motion when an object rolls over the surface of another. The force, what is rolling friction? The force that resist the relative motion just a minute. When an object rolls over the surface of another is called rolling friction. It's called rolling friction. The force that resists the relative motion when an object rolls over the surface of another is called a rolling friction. It is very easy and convenient to pull a heavy luggage fitted with rollers, isn't it? A small kid also, they can pull the luggage if the luggage bag is attached, means rollers are attached on the luggage bag. And definitely wheels greatly reduce friction. Wheels greatly reduces friction. So some of the examples which reduces friction are like wheels, like ball bearing, and cylindrical pencils also. If you want to shift a book, if you want to place a book under, means under the book, if you have placed cylindrical shape of pencils and just roll it, so very smoothly it will be rolled. So these are the few examples. And the wheels are also used to move heavy objects like cars, trucks, and so many things. So there rolling friction acts. So here we can say that rolling friction is less than sliding friction, which is less than static friction. So these are the few examples why rolling friction is much lesser than sliding friction, which is much more lesser than static friction. Thank you, children.